Hey, welcome to Frisky Talk 008 with Amber Long. Amber is a force to reckon with in the electronic music world, whether providing her distinctive vocals for the industry's top producers, spinning her own driving progressive rhythms, writing for Frisky News, running Modern Agenda and Honey Drops, producing and remixing her own tracks, or inspiring others with her motivational words. Amber puts incredible energy and passion into all that she does. It was such a joy to catch up with her for this episode, and I'm really excited to share it with you. It's fun, funny, full of great stories and good advice. She shares some of her favorite stories from the past and gives a sneak peek into her future, where I'm sure that no matter what she does, it's going to be awesome. Thanks, Amber, for this awesome talk. Hope you guys all enjoy Frisky Talk 008 with Amber Long. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. And how are you? Let's talk about you.
we don't need to. This is about you. So let's talk about your last year then, since it's like an appropriate.
Let's see. This past year. Well, I actually just posted an Instagram post about this past year because last year when I got back from ADE, I lost a job that I totally loved, and my daughter started university, so she was away from home, and it just seemed like I went into being 40 like feeling really crummy. You know, we all have some bummer times or whatever. And so it took a few months and I couldn't seem to get it together, but we still went away quite a bit this past year, Robert and I. And I guess it was like in the last 6 months or so that I don't know, something snapped where it was like, no, you need to take control of this. You need to stop floundering. And I guess it was like a midlife crisis that kicked me in the butt. And I had to do something about it. And whatever wasn't working for me, I had to change. So I kind of put into action like a lot of changes as far as work is concerned. You know, I've got a good groove going on here in Toronto. Music wise, I made a commitment to get music out, like tracks produced this year. So I spent a lot of time on that. Modern Agenda, seriously, like that pretty much, I guess, would say be the main focus of this past year is just growing the label and, you know, attracting new people to the label, as well as like providing a home for the people that are on the label. And yeah, it's been a really busy year. And even though some of it hasn't been all sunshine and buttercups, you know, sometimes
never, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You just, instead of like trying to go around it or go over it, you got to go through it. And I guess that's what happened this year is just plug on through. And now things are going really well.
Yeah. I feel like it's such a testament to that mentality because it's so easy to just like get caught up in feeling shitty. Like I know.
Yeah.
And to be able to just be like, I just have to push, like just pushing yourself over that edge of like taking control.
Yeah. Oh, you hear some Toronto soundtrack
yeah,
in the
that's like
background.
part of the atmosphere of Toronto.
Oh, you'll probably hear those so many times before this conversation is done. It is, after all, 11 in the morning.
On a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday, yeah. Yeah, you gotta push on through. Life isn't easy, and it seems to be getting harder for everyone. And you know, the people that you love, you have to hold them close and you have to support them and be there for them. And you know, just whatever mark you make in this world, just try and make it the best one you can, because life is not easy, and especially in this music industry, but in a secular job, just because you're bummed, you can't just be like, no, I'm not going into work for a week, so the same thing goes with music. Like, a lot of people put as much time into their music as they do their secular life, so you got to make it worth it and just push on through.
Just live life without the pretense, have no regrets. I won't fight the tide, pulling me away from you.
Obviously shows in everything you've done this year, like putting out your tracks and Modern Agenda. Obviously, like, I feel like everything you posted from ADE and all the people that came are such a good energy. And obviously you guys as the mom and dad, is that a weird thing to say?
That's how it feels sometimes.
Does it? Because that's like kind of how it seems.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're all equal, and Rob and I do some pretty wild things sometimes, but we do it because we're a couple, and as artists, we're on the same playing field and the same level as any of the artists on Modern Agenda. We're trying to figure things out. We're trying to find our way. We're trying to make good music, so it's an equal playing field. And the mom and dad comment is only our Canadianness about us, because and me, I'm a mom, right? So I always have food and I want to feed people, and so the mom in me is very, very true. And Rob, yeah, he's kind of like a dad too to some of these guys, because he's wise, he's smart, this is not his first rodeo, so yeah.
And he seems like he's just got such a kind heart that he's just like, anybody could come talk to him about anything. That's how it feels.
Absolutely. He is such a sweetheart. And when he's working, you'll probably never hear from him because he works crazy hours. But any other time, like, he will always be there to answer anyone's questions. He loves talking about music, or helping things out. He does all the mastering for Modern Agenda as of late. And, like, I don't know. He's a great guy. I'm a lucky girl. He even brought me home. Okay, what other man does this? He brought me home a gluten-free vegan pumpkin spice cheesecake last night for my birthday.
That's so sweet.
And some people might cringe at that, but
no, that's like so thoughtful.
It is. It's really special when your food doesn't make you sick and you get to enjoy it, and somebody cared enough to actually think about that, So he came home and hid it, and
and it was good.
Yeah, and he lit so many candles on the top. And it was almost like a fire in the kitchen. There were so many candles, and I'm like, oh my God, you didn't 24 candles. And he's like, people aren't supposed to be older than 24, I guess. So
not if you're eating vegan, gluten-free.
Yeah, he couldn't put any more candles on the cake. And it looked like he was carrying a fire in a bowl.
I'm surprised you could still eat it.
It was delicious, but oh my God, it really showed me that I'm getting older.
Can't. Thanks.
When it becomes a fire on top of the cake,
burn down your kitchen.
Yep. Yeah.
So what's your guys' next adventure? You guys always go on adventures.
Yes. So right now, we're in busy season here in Toronto. So we're both working up until New Year's, and that means just all the time. But we are headed to Mexico again in mid-January. We have some gigs planned there. There may be an addition to that trip that I can't talk about.
Nice. Super secret.
Yeah, but we're hoping while we're in Mexico, we're going to stay for quite a while. And while we're there, we're hoping to hit Mexico City and see our friends, and then do Tulum and Playa, and, just go and integrate in a warm climate instead of a winter climate.
Yeah. How long are you gone?
Oh, well...
It depends on the super secret mission.
Well, we're aiming for a couple months.
Wow.
Actually.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How nice. That's like the ideal, to get out of, you get like a little bit of the winter, so you get the season.
Yeah.
And then you're just like out of there for the crappy part of winter.
Yeah. And we fell in love with Playa and the area last time so much. We have friends there, and the whole thing is it was kind of like a litmus test last year, or in March when we went, because we wanted to see, if we could actually like stay there half a year and be the snowbirds and like do our music from there and live a semi-normal life, because in 2 months you can't just do nothing. You can't just be on holiday the whole time. You have to, start building a life for yourself, and what you're going to do and whatnot. So I think that we're probably we keep testing out different countries to see which one's energy we just want to like stay in for long periods of time. So we definitely loved Mexico in March, and we're going to go back again in January.
That's awesome. How cool. What do you have, like another place you want to try on your list?
I would really like to go back to London at some point, because it's been, by next year, it'll be 5 years since we played in London. And we have a lot of friends, and we have a lot of our Modern Agenda crew there. So right now I'm like creating a hit list of where we can do Modern Agenda showcases. So I'd love to go back to London. Just to reconnect with some folks there. And India, of course. India is such a far distance, but there's such a draw to go there and to be with our people there, and so that's always in the works. That one is, I don't know. I just have to keep putting that one out into the universe, because it is a huge undertaking, to go that far. And but we've been planning it for a couple of years, and it's going to happen. So definitely 2 places on the list.
That's the best thing, is that you feel like wherever you're going, like you're like, our people are going to be there.
Exactly. It's like having a safety net everywhere you go. And the first time we went overseas was in 2013. And we were still, both of us, Rob and I, were both really fresh and new in the electronic music scene, only been probably doing anything, kind of bigger for a couple of years. And we went there, and we kind of just connected with our friend Human Element that I'd done vocals for, Blue Soul that I did vocals for, Namespace, who we were at the Frisky party with you with. So Namespace invited us to go play in London. Lars, I don't know if you got a chance to meet him, but he was in Amsterdam. So we had met all these people online. And that was our first leap of faith, where we actually put ourselves on the other side of the world, trusting the people that we had been having conversations with. And the first step, that first leap, is really the hardest, because North Americans, like, we're taught to be skeptical and not really trust. We're taught to, like, go on booking.com and do things by the book, you know. So the free spirit in us was like, okay, we want to be part of a community. You know, we're out there to make friends, not fans. So we want to be part of a community. We have to take some chances. So we did. And we met amazing people that we still keep in touch with today. And everywhere we go, I guess that's a prerequisite, is that everywhere that we go, we know somebody that we've either had dealings with or have worked with on releases. Like, we always know somebody at the other end. And maybe they don't have to take care of us. Maybe we're doing our own thing. But there's always somebody, like, within a few hour radius, that if you sent them a message and said, I'm really screwed, they'd have your back. And that is like a safety net for us as travelers. You know, any one of us artists, there's always like that security. If you trust, you can tell a lot about people by their social media. You know, you can tell a lot by how they respond and how they talk to you, how, you know, how you do releases with them. You can tell a lot. So even though it seems like a big leap of faith, you know, you got to use your gut. And most people, especially in the progressive house side, like, they're fantastic. Everybody's like hugging and kissing and loving and high five and yes, bro, I love you, bro. Like, just everybody's so in love. So, you know,
It's the best.
A pretty safe place to be.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing, but it just is like, it's just so natural.
It is very natural. We had, when we were in Amsterdam, there was probably between, like, I would say, let's say, to be fair, 27 to 30 Modern Agenda people on the hotel boat that we rented out. And that's always a test too, because you're like, okay, is somebody going to be a douche? Like, it, you know, there's always that underlying, like, oh, please don't let anything happen with one of our people, you know. And the first night, there was one room that was extra, so we rented it out, and it wasn't our people, but somebody smoked in the room, and it was somebody that they had just let on, right? But our people, anybody from Modern Agenda, anybody who came to visit, anybody who stopped by, anybody who came to the party, there was no issue. There was zero issue. Everybody was like having a good time, and it was such good vibes. And I shit you not, it was friggin' amazing.
No, for sure. Like, I could feel that. It's just amazing. And I love that you can just express that so well. I was thinking of how there's like the whole thing of like women and men in the electronic music industry, but there's, when it comes down to it, like, there's just the feminine energy that I think is important to balancing out with so many dudes.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily like, yeah, go on.
Sorry, you're absolutely right. Like, you and your Libra about the balancing out. It is important. I think that it's just like as important as it is to communicate and understand each other from all our different countries and nationalities and cultures. The same thing goes for men and women, and everything does balance itself out, you know. My ability to express that, I can honestly say that there were guys on that boat, they were being so descriptive, and, you know, they were able to, they're progressive house producers, lest we forget, and they speak so much of their energy in their emotional music. So we did get in some tracks from people who actually used their inspiration to create tracks, and that's how they spoke about their experience. But yeah, even the guys, like, it was such an open community that everybody felt safe with if they had emotions or if they felt strongly about something, you know, that they could just tell somebody, I love you, man. You know, like, you made my week, or this was amazing. And I think we're all lacking that in our own respective places, because we go home, we go into our own little lives, we all go to work, we get distracted. Facebook isn't the same. So when you're actually like face to face with somebody, like when I got to see you face to face, I just wanted to hug you and hug you and hug you, because that's something really special, and it's an open ground for like being emotional, you know, so, or vulnerable, or like with somebody, because you have 3 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour, hardly any time.
Secrets.
It's just amazing. Like I wasn't expecting how amazing that was.
I think there's also like an unspoken set of rules too, like social rules that everybody kind of abides by, you know, and that stirs up a lot of respect in people, because, you know, it's just be nice. We're all trying to do things, and if you're gonna have an ego, like, people are gonna notice that right away, or if you're gonna be difficult, people notice that right away. It seems really big, our progressive house or our electronic music industry, but it's actually really, really small. Like, once you're in it and once you start working with people, it's really, really small, and everybody knows everybody. So it's, when you walk into a collective of people, it's almost like everybody's already read the training manual, you know, and they're just happy to be there with you, you know, and everybody just kind of knows that it's chill, it's good. These people are trustworthy. You know, they've made the pilgrimage to come to ADE from wherever they're from.
Yeah. Yeah. And in life too, like, you could say just the pilgrimage to be exactly where they were, you know, with the music.
That too.
Awesome. Good stuff. So let me ask you more questions about yourself, since I feel like I'm talking too much there.
No.
I'd love it. No, you talk. I know you tried to do that to me before. You're like, you talk. I'm like, I'm not talking. It's not my role to talk. Let's start with what's coming up for you. Like, this release was huge, amazing to be able to do that, and obviously you're getting a ton of good support, and that's gotta feel good. It's gonna be like that first time you hear it live from some DJ you love. That's gonna be amazing.
I know. I'm kind of like, well, when I got back, I made it, like, finished everything up when I got back from ADE. So the final touches were actually like rolling off the inspiration from ADE and that motivation to like get things done. And part of me was like surrounded by all those amazing producers. So I was like, okay, you better do this. You know, you got this. Everybody's supporting you. And so yeah, I really finished it up. It took me, you know, I probably started when I got back this summer, so in August. So it probably took about 3.5 months to finish that EP up. And I felt really sick when I was sending it to the label, because it's one thing to send vocals and feel nervous if somebody likes the vocals or not, but I could always re-record vocals. But if they didn't like the tracks, that was everything I had in me. There were no backup tracks. There was like, this was the EP, you know?
Yeah.
So I waited and waited, and I knew they liked one track, and then they liked the other track. And so now it's been out on promo. And Nick Warren, Hernan, Darren Epsilon, Nick Muir, and then Mitch Alexander. They were like some of the first people to comment on it, and I guess all the sickness that I felt in my stomach was warranted because they were the first ones to hear it.
You're like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was like, oh man. And normally I send them stuff, you know, and I have a personal, you know, connection, and I can just send them stuff. But this one, I was asked to keep it, and it really was, let's see what they think, or if they open it or whatever, and they did. So I feel like a schoolgirl and really excited about that they even opened it. Delta played it, so Delta FM in Argentina. So it was very fitting that they were the first to play it, because that was the first place probably my voice was ever heard in Argentina too, from Hernan playing it in resident. So it was a great landing pad for that one. And now, well, I put it in my Frisky set, and I'm using it in a few different places. But now we wait until December 1st, because it's not even going up for pre-sale or anything. And I guess Golden Wings just wants to see what happens. It's going out for promo for X amount of people, and then it's out for consumption December 1st, which is 9 or 10 days.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. So soon.
Yes. Yes, it's exciting.
Awesome. So you're starting on the next one.
I actually have a remix that I finished as well for Jacob Seville. So that one's coming out in January. And my personal goals are pretty much, if I could get out a couple EPs a year. I don't want to give up doing vocals, and I need a special part of my creativity to focus on that. But making tracks has definitely become something that I know that if I really focus on doing, I'm really pleased with the results. And so yeah, I'm going to continue that. And I have some remixes lined up. Going to put some stuff out probably on Modern Agenda, you know, in the early part of the year. Just because it's our label, and I want it on our label.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, that's busy. That's exciting.
It is, but I'm doing it to stay focused. You know, if you're working out and you want to do a fitness competition, you have to keep working out. You know, you have to, whatever you want to do in life, you have to keep practicing and whatnot. So if I create these goals for myself, then that keeps me focused, and I have, you know, my list of what to do for the labels for the year, my list of what to do personally for the year. And then if stuff comes in, it's all based on if there's time around that.
Yeah. Awesome. What is Modern Agenda's goals this year?
Modern Agenda. I'm so excited. Like, so excited. So
excited. I have to.
Because in the beginning, it's going to be 2. I think its first release was December 5th, 2015. So it's going to be 2 in 2 weeks. And originally, it was kind of like, oh, this is nice. We're going to be selective, and we're going to put stuff out every couple months. And we're not going to take this too seriously. It's just going to be a holding place for our releases, or if we want to do something, for us to own our tracks, for artists to like have freedom with their tracks. And in the first year, it was like we had a few really great releases, and it actually had impact, you know? And I was like, whoa, okay, that was cool. And then this past year, I amped up the release schedule. So it went from maybe once every 5 or 6 weeks in the first year to this past year to being once every 3 to 4 weeks. And now because people have actually, since the label's been established, they've set out to actually put something on Modern Agenda. So we've gotten in, some amazing tracks from incredible artists. And now I have it at a place where the schedule is booked until the middle of June with a release every 2 weeks starting in 2018. And we have kick-ass remixers lined up, and it's growing. It's growing really, really well. And I don't say that from a financial standpoint because I don't bring that into the equation at this time. It's still a growing business. But as far as people feeling that community spirit, people noticing that it's a different style of label or it's a different type of label, Beatport is recognizing it by giving it features. Things are charting, and these are all, they're all little small accomplishments, but they're creating momentum for like the greater good. And the greater good is a solid place to find great music from progressive house, techno, like underground stuff. So that's the main goal with shows, doing showcases where we can. And I'm really excited because 2018, we're amping it up yet again with every 2 weeks.
I love it. It's like, just keep the momentum. If you're doing it that often, that momentum just keeps building.
Yeah. And people come to rely on that. So to see stuff being played from Modern Agenda, or to have people listen to it, or use the tracks, that honors the artist and that honors the amount of work that they put in, because a lot of people don't get hardly any money back from anything. Even though I give most all the royalties to everybody, it's not about the money. It's getting heard, it's being heard, it's having somebody cool remixing it. It's the whole project, from start to finish. And I guess it's like, that's kind of the playground I'm trying to build.
You can't run away. The sun will shine
as like in the audience, in the crowd, and then like behind the decks or in your career?
Favorite moments. Favorite moments in the crowd. Let's see. Of course, I'm going to say Hernan shows, right? I absolutely fell in love. I saw him play at Ministry of Sound the first time in August 2013 when we were there, and it was incredible. He was with Guy J. Sorry, I'm making your coffee here.
It's part of the sound, background sounds.
Yeah, background sounds of Toronto. So yeah, that was, and then I actually saw, I was still really new back then to electronic music and stuff like that. And what I'd been exposed to in the crowd, standout moments, Halloween at Government with Carl Cox. That was incredible. And that was 2010. That was ridiculous because it was Carl Cox playing with all the strobe lights and all the crazy costumes, and it was government, so it wasn't just people painting their faces, you know, it was people on stilts and skeletons, and it was an event. We saw one of my first dates with Rob was going to see Richie Houghton at Footwork, so that was amazing. Then of course every time I see Hernan play, I just feel like it's a big hug, you know. Just, the music is so warm, or sometimes he plays super hard and then it's just like, yeah, man, go. You play that hard stuff. Like, it's great, right? So you see all different aspects of his personality. It was really wonderful. I love doing or being at the boat cruise when Nick Warren and Hernan are playing in Miami. That has some amazing vibes to it. Another standout place I like to be is at ADE. I always find myself at Club NL, and there are the most memorable sets that go down there. No word of a lie. I'm going to say his name wrong maybe, but Habishman, is that how you say it? He played there last year in 2016, and I was like, wow, great set. And then this year it was Nishan Lee and Sabandrio, and then John Cassani played after that. Those guys kicked ass. And we literally went back to the boat, had a nap, and went there and ate their techno for breakfast. And that was a good moment to be alive, because everybody's there and hugging and happy, and the music could not have been better. It was amazing.
That is me. I like that club a lot. It's something special.
Yeah. I really, it's one of those places where at ADE, if it's somebody you know putting it on, or a label you know putting it on, you know it's going to be a great show. So, behind the decks, we played this private party in Argentina. Of course, Bahrain was amazing, and anytime you get to play live, it's an amazing experience. So anywhere, it doesn't matter where it's been really fun, because even if there's been blips, it's been fun working them out and learning and getting better at adapting to things. But this private party in Buenos Aires was a place where we were brought to a home. It was completely set up. And, you know, people were there for this private party, and they were so emotional and thankful and loving that they were just like, they had tears in their eyes, and like, music moved them so much. And I don't think that I've ever seen the effect of music quite like that. You know, what they say about Argentina being a very passionate place, or, you know, there's a lot of energy there. This is true. And in the clubs or the parties that we played that were more, you know, commercial, that anybody could go to, of course, that passion and energy was there. But this private party, it was so intimate. You know, you'd spent this time visiting with people, talking with people. You were on the ride together, and then you played, and like, somebody knelt down and he was crying and kissing Robert's hand, like he was just that enamored with it. And it's, you know, I've never seen that before, and it was amazing.
Yeah, that's a trip.
It is, right? I know. Now that I've said it, I don't know. Maybe you should cut that out. But it was
no, that's like, it's amazing. So it's so like raw and beautiful, and that's like honest.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. It was no hold bars, and I think those are actually the best gigs to play. When we're on the roof in Playa del Carmen, it feels like home, and when it's sunny out, you know, when it's daytime, it's all like rooftop vibes and everything. But we're talking Mexico, and they like it heavy and they like it hard when it's dark. So even though it's, you know, 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night, you can open up because the party ends at 11, you know, and they love it. They love it. They love that techno, you know, so you can go through all the spectrums of the different styles that you want to, and then the end where everybody's just looking at you because they're like, in my head it's 4 a.m. Let's go.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Where do you have any place that would be like your dream place to play?
Okay. Okay. I really well, I keep holding it as a secret, but if I keep it as a secret, how's everybody gonna know? We're really working hard to get back to Argentina. You know, I want to see the mountains, and I want to see the penguins in Argentina. And that, if you want to ask about dreams, usually the dreams include music and nature. So mountains, like Cordoba or Tucumán, you know, kind of in that area, I would love to go and visit there. And then I think it's like Patagonia with the penguins, and then play some gigs and not go as long this time, like maybe for 10 days or so. But that is the dream for 2018 that we're working on. And then after that, like, Rob and I are actually kind of putting things together and working a little bit at getting a residency, because we've done some residencies in a few different places. And we thought about just going and relocating for a few months. So we're exploring some options for some residencies, because there's some that are like deep tech, deep house, you know, like the chill lounge stuff that we play together. And then with him playing violin and me singing, like, we really want to explore the live musicianship side of things.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the location is actually not established as to where we might want to go, but what we want to do, that's what we want to do.
Awesome. Well, that's kind of what you just have to set up, right? Like, the specifics figure themselves out. Yeah. So are you like, I know last year you were being like, I don't know about being in Toronto anymore, but is it nice to just have it there, but travel? Like, to have it as a home base?
Yes, absolutely. And last year, like I said, I was totally bummed, and it was really hard to see positives in a city that costs so much money to live in when you don't really have a job. And, you know, it's Rob and I, and our families are far away, and my kids are far, you know, like, everything. It was kind of being like alone on a really expensive island that I didn't want to be on. But something happened. I don't know. It was in the spring, or like right when I started stirring the pot and I didn't just get a job with one company. I got a job with like 5 different companies, and I'm focused on freelancing and just being so available for different companies in Toronto and doing random things, that I finally got a rotation going where, yes, it's expensive, but I can still save a little and like make music stuff happen, as well as live here and not feel like I'm choking on the place, you know? And then as far as the kids are concerned, my daughter moved to Ottawa, which is it's about 5 hours away. So we take weekend trips, my son and I, you know, and myself, to go see her for extended periods of time while she's in university. So this is adding a new little like flavor to life. You know, it's the next step in parenting. You know, where it's going to visit your kids at their place. So that's kind of a new development, which is enjoyable. And then Rob and I, we're always, you know, we always have another goal in mind that we're working towards. So this is a capitalist place. We use it to make money, you know, and we find joy in whatever we can while we're here. You know, there's great food, and I'm loving the jobs that I'm doing right now. I'm being exposed to like wonderful people, whereas before it was like working retail with like not so great people. like people, so I'm getting exposed to even good people. So I like Toronto. I love Toronto. I'm proud to call it home because I know what being a Torontonian or a Canadian means, and it's huge. Like, I love being here. Expensive? Absolutely. Will I be here forever? No, I want to retire somewhere hot, and so does Rob. But right now, our families, our parents, and the kids need us in this area, so we don't expect any move anytime soon, but we do expect to have more and more extended escapes, let's say.
Yeah, that's such a nice way to do it, and it's really inspirational that you guys make shit happen.
Life is short, my friend. Life is short.
Yeah, indeed. Well, is there anything else? Obviously, I want you to like keep giving me inspirational advice, and and by me I mean everybody who's going to listen to this. If there's anything you want to share.
Oh my goodness. Inspirational advice. Okay. I started reading, I read lots of books, and here's one piece of inspirational advice is I started reading the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving Up. You can fill in the blanks. So in this book, it goes through the process. Like, it's really brash. There's a lot of bad language and stuff like that. But if you can get beyond it and start actually getting into what Mark Manson is saying, I think that's his name, Mark Manson. He says we all pick our struggles. So we have so much in our life that could go wrong, that does go wrong or whatever. But in the end, what we're going to struggle for is our choice. So if you really, really want a sports car, you're choosing that struggle. So once you have your sports car and you have to keep up with the payments and stuff, that's the struggle you've chosen, right? So in whatever you do, and whatever your struggle you choose, like I've chosen music as my struggle, and everything's going to go into that. And there's not enough space around for other things because I'm focused on that. The kids, like personal life, traveling, those are the struggles that I choose. And each of us has a personal thing that means so much to us. And if we actually take stock in the things that aren't really important that we give attention to and just start taking them out of our lives and focusing on the things that are really important to us, we just become stronger and stronger and better and surmount things, obstacles. So yeah, I don't know if that's inspiring advice, but choose your struggles wisely, because there's a lot of stuff out there that will distract you and take a bunch of your time needlessly, when if you just focus on what you're after and you just go for it, you can create like this tunnel vortex that just propels you a lot faster than if you get distracted by other things.
You'll be just fine.
Okay, honey, I love you.
Love you too.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.